Welcome to my world. Okay, guys, so I had been over and over again asked to try a bubble machine. This is 6 ounces after 10 minutes. I never have bubbles like this from my Magic Resin. Never. I don't know. This is insane. Like, the amount of bubbles is insane. I don't know. I recorded 90% of it. My hand got tired. I wasn't going to continue to do it. I don't get those kind of bubbles from Magic Resin. I'm just saying. I don't need that. So it's kind of crazy. It's just, I don't know. Spraying this. So this wood's been sealed. I sealed it. It's going to go in there. We're going to do like excuse me, a little bit of the back is going to be just have a hint of ocean or sky or whatever you want to make it out to be. All right, that's what we're going to do. Now let me move this. And I got, this is my nondescript generic lavender, blueberry, and white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I need to pour some in here. I just need to get some, and these bubbles have got to go away. You know what I'm saying? These bubbles have got to go away. This is on a heat mat and a level table. But if you watch me, you see, and I'm going to watch us just kind of pop, but if you watch me very often, you know that I don't have a lot of problems with bubbles. So I got white. I added the white into just a little bit of resin because I won't need that much white. I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do. This is a little thing of silicone oil. I'm going to drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of silicone oil in there. And get that stirred up. The silicone oil makes cells. Okay, so let's do the lavender. Oh, I haven't opened that. Let me get my little handy dandy opener. If I can pick it up. You know, nails, gloves, nothing helps you. So I use a sewing needle, and I keep one here and one over there, and I'm going to pull it away because I don't need it coming up and getting in my mold. But we got it open. All I did was stick that down in there. Grab me a paper towel, clean myself up. Clean myself up. I think the blueberry's been open. We'll see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's stir the blueberry. I mean, yeah, the lavender. All right, there we go. Set that over here. I still got bubbles, guys. Still got bubbles. Shake up my blueberry. Oh, nope, it's not been opened. I should have kept that sewing needle right over there with me. See? Alright, I'm going to pull it over here to open it. Now I got to clean up the blue. See? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's awful dark. So I'm going to stop with that. Get a stick, stir this up. Okay. Now, I'm going to, I see stuff's gotten in there. No matter what you do, you end up with stuff in your, there we go. Now, there's still bubbles. I need the bubbles to go away. I feel like the resin machine created bubbles that I've never had to deal with before. Okay, this is staying in its place. Good boy. All right. I need a little bit more resin. I need another cup. I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do. I need a little more resin. Just a little. About like that. And I need my rainbow ink. I'll be right back. Alright, I'll be right back. It's across the room. Sorry, it's on the other side of the basement at my tumbler section. But this is Marabou's Rainbow, and I love it. So, I don't know if you can see. Can you see what it looks like when I put it in there? It's just amazing. Gives it that perfect amount of shimmer. Okay. We're going to stir this up. Alright, we got some shimmer. Looks like we're doing good. Now I'm just going to just put some of this through. I don't know if you can see the shimmer or not. When I do my editing, I'll probably zoom in for you guys. There we go. Just wanted to add that. Alright, let me get rid of that. I'll wipe this little stick off. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to take a little bit of purple and kind of drizzle it. I'm going to take I'm just going across the top. I don't want it mixed in. blue. This is the tip off of a crafting syringe, and I super glued or hot or E6000 glued a crafting stick in there. All right. Now we're going to add some white. And you're going to see automatically what that white is doing. See how it's spreading out, almost making it look cloudy? That's what I want it to do. Now, that's the background. This is the back. This has got to cure like that. This is going to sit on the wood, and I'm going to make the flowers come out of this as if it's a base. I feel like maybe it needs a little green. I think maybe it may need a little green. Let me go ahead and get another cup. I think I need a little green in there. Get a cup. Don't need very much. Don't need very much. Let me find. Let me see. Oh yeah. Lime. Kiwi. Let's use kiwi. Really? Sorry. So we're going to use kiwi and do a little green. I can't believe that one hasn't been opened either. Wow. I thought I used all these. Let's see. Gotta clean the green. All right. I don't want a lot, just a little. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Wow, it's pretty, isn't it? Just barely. It's already spreading on its own. It's working with the white. There we go. Just wanted to jump on here and let you know that the color that you see
the rainbow
there that was added that matches the vase is a mica that I chose to add to it to make it
So, all right, guys,
make the colors be more relatable, if that makes sense. And it didn't get recorded. Sorry. Alright guys, so I didn't record it because it just wasn't convenient for what I was doing. These were 4 flowers that the lady picked from a bouquet that she had received. It was an anniversary. She wanted them preserved. She hung them to dry. They've been dried, and I've been working on how I was going to do this. So I cut them so that they would fit. And this, I'll show you. Is a mold that I didn't pour so that the bottom would be flat. I didn't pour it complete. And then I had my husband cut it almost in half. I need a little bit more this way so that it could make it look like it was sitting on a shelf, a bouquet of flowers. Right now, I am waiting on my resin to get to the point where I want to pour it in. I'm not pouring this all at once, guys. Not all at once. I'm going to do this in layers because I don't want bubbles. I'm going to take my time, each layer getting a little bit of resin. I'm only using clear resin with a little bit of rainbow in each layer, so it won't be a big definition of layers. That's where I'm at with this right now. Now, once I get to a certain point, I am going to set this up before I finish it, and I'm going to put some items on the shelf. Haven't figured out what items I'm going to put on the shelf yet, but I'm going to put some items on the shelf. So that's where I'm at right now. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and I've got this mixed up. I won't use all this, but I want you to see the shimmer, if you can see that shimmer from the rainbow. This is by Marabou. I'm going to mix this in, and it has a little bearing in it. Sometimes when you tip it, the bearing gets in the way. You got to move it around, and this stuff stinks. Yeah, it stinks, but I'm going to stir this in. And I've let it sit long enough that it's starting to get warm. All right. Let me get me a cup. I may have been wrong. I may end up using this 8 ounces. Yep. All right, and that is all we're going to do with this layer. I'm going to turn the heat on low on the mat that's underneath it. And that's it for this layer.
All right, so real quick, the friend that I'm making this for, she loves the sea. So I had some really nice shells, and I'm going to get those and get them placed. Hopefully, I may have to pick another smaller one. I don't know that one's not going to fit, but I know I'm going to at least get that one placed, and I'll figure out something for there. But that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm working on. So I need to, since this one's too big, won't be able to use it, I'm going to go ahead and work on this one. And I'm going to fill these places with the UV resin so that I don't have to worry about the shell needing to fill with resin and then the possibility of bubbles. So while that one's curing underneath the light, I'm going to go over there and try to find something smaller. All right, so I found some more options. We'll see if any of these will work. I know that one will fit there. Maybe, oh yeah, that one would fit there. That's the one we'll use. I like that one. Or do you like that one? Nope, I like that one. That's the one we'll use. I'm trying to get, I want to get this filled right there. With this UV resin. What would be perfect if tomorrow was going to be super sunny and I could put this project off, but tomorrow is super rainy and Saturday is cloudy and I want to have this done by the 1st of next week. So I'm going to be using the UV lamp. Got several of them. This one is the most handy right now. Let me see. And once it starts hardening, then I can just let it let it sit because it won't run. And I'm going to put these over here to the side. And look at this one. So I'm going to start building. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start building. I'm going to build like a barrier. I'll start building that up. So I'm going to move this up a little bit. And I could get my bigger one out, but we're good. We're good. And I'll build it up layer by layer until I got that opening closed up like that. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Then we're going to put one there and one there. And I will use a little bit of UV resin to keep them in place until the next layer of resin seals them in. Okay, so if anybody's interested, this comes from Amazon and it's rechargeable, so you can charge it and take it with you, or it's got a sticky thing you can mount it permanent somewhere. There's that. So I got these, and if you'll notice, even though this has the sides for out, it was coming in. So I took and taped the molds up. Now, let's work on, that's super weird. Oh, that's because where the flowers are. Okay. All right, so I need to work on placing the shells. So I decided that this shell is going to go here, and this shell over here. And I don't know if you can see them or not, but like that. Like that. So that's where those are going to go. I'm going to temporarily glue them in. That one would probably not move, but I'm afraid that it would. So I'm going to get those glued in. And that's why this is so handy dandy. I know you can't really see this, but I'm going to go ahead and put some clear resin there and turn this on and let that cure and hold that shell in place, because that clear resin will actually disappear with the other resin that's going to be going in there. On something just like that. And if you think this is starting to get weak, then just charge it. should be good enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so we're going to place this one, and I don't think you can see it, but we're going to place it like right there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of HTV resin right there. And let's get that thing sealed. Let's get that sealed in right there. All right, that should be good. Put this up. I need to, haven't charged it for quite a while. Probably need to charge it before long, but that's in place right there. All right, so we got this. I still don't feel good about that, so I'm going to take that some, and then I'll be back for the next coat. All right, guys, so we've got 3 pours in, and I got the shells placed. Now I'm going to mix up another pour. I'm loving this so far. This is beautiful. Oh, it goes out every day. And I'm not lying. Every day. Alexa. Nope, no internet.
tell you, I broke the only igniter I had on the Fairmont call.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was putting it in, or was going to put it in, and it has the bracket you can use, like a universal bracket, and I was trying to move the one tab out, and my pliers slipped and vibrated.
Did you get some ordered?
Oh yeah.
You just got an email from Sub-Zero. It looks like they're talking about the Cove dishwasher.
They finally sent something?
Yep, looks like that's what it's about, is the Cove.
I'll look at it here in a minute.
Alexa, read from Kindle.
Resuming Shannon.
Okay, internet's back, seems like.
Box 1 to 10. A paranormal thriller series. Books 1 to 10 box set. Read with Kindle assisted reading.
I'm in a precision. Insatiable is what I envision. Hate to get that position from
All Philly hoes know it's mosquito. Every cutie with the booty for the feet. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? The millions rock dicks. Frank like push the stick called the Lexus LX 4.5. Bulletproof glass tips if I want some ass. Don't blast squeeze those ass questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, a nigga rapping about blunts and bras, chips and bras, menage a trois, sex and expensive cars, and still leave you on the pavement. Condo paid for, no car payment, not arraignment, no for the plaintiff. The daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement, not guilty. That's how I stay true. Richer and richer, so you niggas come and get me.
sometimes your words is hypnotizing, and I just love your flashy ways. This is why they're broken, you're so fake. Can't you see? Sometimes your words is hypnotizing, and I just love your flashy ways. This is why they're broken, you're so fake.
I can fill you with real millionaire shit. That's cargo, my cargo, 160, swiftly. Wreck it by your new one. Your crew run, your crew run. I know you sick of this name brand, nigga with clothes, girl, say heat, sweet like nigga Chris. So give it this, nigga, it's easy. Girlfriend, here's a pin. Call me round 10, come through, have sex on rough, that's urgent. Come up to your job, hit you while you're working, for certain. I'm a freakin', not speaking, leave that ass leaking like rapper demo. Tell them who, take their clothes off slowly. Kill them with the force like Kobe, dick black like Kobe, watch me roll like Kobe. Lucky they don't own me, where to say show me, homie.
Good morning, guys. We are looking to put in layer 6 and then a final layer 7. I plan on doing layer 6, and then about 5 or 6 hours later, I'm going to go ahead and do the final layer. I did sit here for an hour after that last layer last night until the resin was hard. I was still working with it because I could not pre-dip these roses before I put them in here because I needed them to be in here in a certain way. When you pre-dip them, there's no give. So I had to do them as they're being layered up. So I had bubbles. So I'd watch the bubbles. And even after an hour, there was still a couple of bubbles that come up. So I worked on those. I got them dug out. I got them sanded around the edges. I'll show you what I used for that. Let me find them. And I honestly have no idea what they're called. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on Temu. But they're sticks, or they're your craft sticks with sandpaper on the end. So that's what I was doing. And then once you do that, you have to sand and clean with alcohol and everything like that. But we ended up with some high spots, some bubbling spots, because I was touching the resin so far into it setting up, preventing the bubbles, stopping the bubbles. I ended up with some spots. So what we're doing here is I noticed them, and I'm just sanding this off. I'm trying to get those spots, those bubble spots off. And I'm going to clean with alcohol because we don't want any of that sand dust on there. Alright. And the good thing about resin is it's very forgiving. So once we start pouring and we get the next layer, you won't be able to see the those marks. Now we are using the rainbow and Magic Resin. That is it. Temperature in the basement today is 67 degrees, so I warmed my part A to 81 and then added my part B. So of course it brought my temperature back down. I can show you what the temperature of my resin is right now. And it's at 78. So we are perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and split. I did 8 ounces. We're going to put 4 ounces in this cup. And that's what we're going to start with. I suggest when you're shaking this marabou up, take the cap off. Put your finger over the tip and shake it up. That's my suggestion, because when you're shaking, you end up with some in the cap. It's just like any of these alcohol inks. When you shake them, you end up with some in the cap. Now, I'm going to add the ink to this. I'm doing 10 drops to this 4 ounces. Get this stirred up. And then we're going to slowly pour it into this mold. I think it's looking really, really good. And bubbles are sometimes something that you cannot do anything about. You just have to work with them and find a way to clear them up. And that's another reason why I did layers, because I wasn't going to put a deep pour on here and have the bubbles all come up at once. When I'm doing them in layers, I'm doing layers of the flour, so one layer at a time, and I can watch those bubbles easier. Now, had I pre-dipped and they had been completely sealed up, no gaps, everything was clear, no bubbles that would have been able to come out, that would have been a different story. Deep pour it and be happy with it. Look how pretty this is. I'm not kidding. I love this rainbow in Marabou. Alright, so we're just going to do 4 ounces right now. That's going to take us up to where one more 4 ounce pour. So I'm just going to tell you, I believe this is the 6th. I'm going to have to go back through and double check it. 7th. I believe this is the 7th pour, but I've got everything on video. But whatever it is, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. We're probably at 36 ounces in here right now. Right around 36 ounces. Now, if I find my handy dandy tool, and I am going to raise that up a little bit. That's the tape I put on there to keep that mold. Oh, come on. My fingers are slipping off of it. There we go. I wanted to keep that mold up. So we're just going to watch this once again. Watch for bubbles. Like I said, I spent an hour with this last night trying to make sure that everything was going to plan. And then this flower was the hardest. This one was the second. I had some over here, but I just kept on top of it. And I picked out little fallen pieces of whatever, flower flakes and leaf flakes and stuff. I sat here and messed with that for, like I said, an hour. And I was back down here early this morning checking things and working on the bubbles that had surfaced after I'd walked away. One thing that you need to keep in mind if you're using this from Let's Resin, it comes with the wooden frame. But the wooden frame is only for going out. These things will fold in too. And if you don't, like I've taped them around to keep them up against the wood. And if you don't watch it, you're going to have waves. So, and the good thing about this tape is it's on the inside and it'll just peel off once you remove the mold. So I'm going to flip this around and turn this way and watch down here. Just want to make sure we don't get any additional bubbles. Watching the edges. get my alcohol. Let's spritz this a little bit. Wow, look how pretty that is. That is so pretty. I don't know, can you see it as well as I can? Can you see it that well? Alright, I'm not going to bore you with this. I'm going to sit here and watch over it before I move on to another project. So, alright guys, thanks. Alright, I hope you can hear me over the air compressor thingy over in the other part of the basement because my husband pulled out my, what do you call it? One of those things that removes the bubbles from your molds. You put your mold in there and it, I don't know guys, because I haven't used it in a long time. He built that for me a year and a half or so ago, and I just, honest to God, forgot I had it. But sometimes it is nice to have, and he's over there making sure that it holds pressure and everything. Pressure pot, that's what it's called, pressure pot. Anyway, so he made ours from a painter's pressure pot that I think he purchased it from Harbor Freight maybe, and that's what he built ours from. So, alright, so this is the last pour on this right here. Alright, so I had to do that because that's matching a rolling tray that I'm working on the other table, and I forgot to do that to match, and I needed to make that match. So that's what that is right there. Alright, let's get rid of that. So all we've been using on here is the rainbow, and I'm just going to put just a little bit, just 3 drops in this final coat. That's all we're going to use. Let me get me a stick and let's stir this. And I do hope y'all can hear me, but if not, I mean, you know what I'm doing, so we've been through this a lot. Alright, let's spray it one more time. I sprayed it a few minutes ago, but let's just spray it again with some alcohol, and we're going to pour this final coat here. And once I unmold it, it may need a dome coat, which is no problem. I can do a dome coat. We'll see once we get this out, which will be probably later today. It's on a heat mat, so you know, typically about 4 hours, but this is really thick. Now everything else has, you know, lots of 24-hour between each pour, and that's just because that's what I chose to do, not what is necessary, because each pour was completely cured, you know. Well, not completely cured, you know, it takes up to 30 days, but it was cured to the touch after 4 to 6, just kind of depending on how thick. Some of these pours were just you know, 4 or 5 ounces. Some of them were up to 8 ounces. I believe if this is going to be the 7th, and we'd have to watch the video, and I'll put all that together. I've already started putting it together because there's so many videos to it. But I'll get it figured up. I'm thinking, if I'm thinking correctly, that there is probably close to 40 ounces of resin in this mold. So let's look at, let's just run this around the edges. Just don't want any bubbles through here. And I can see that there were some. Now this is the bottom, which means the bottom can be touched up easier if I end up with some bubbles underneath that wood, because the wood doesn't go all the way to the bottom. There's resin. And I don't want that overflowing at all. I don't want any overflow. I'm going to turn this around so I can see better some certain spots that I'm watching. I'm going to need a dome coat because this leaf, I believe, I don't want to lose it. I like it. It's a whole part of, you know, the flower, and I may end up definitely doing a dome coat. I'm just watching this resin. I'm watching. I don't want it to go over. Well, this is holding more than what I thought it would. I think what's happening is it's filling up back behind at the bottom of this wood, because it's going somewhere. And I'm looking here, it's almost level. And there we go. That's all we can put on there. So we're going to watch it. We'll be back. Doesn't matter where I go, I've got some kind of light to show. LEDs up there above us. This glare here, which you can't see, but I can see when I look down from the lamp behind us. Whew. Okay, so this has been 7 days of working on it. 7 days. And it's not finished. I will probably have to do some touch-ups. I do realize that it's not going to need a, well, I may need to put a dome coat on it. I don't know until I get it done, but I know there's probably going to be some touch-ups that need to be done. And then I want to pour the back of, I want to pour an extra back on it with lights in it. That's my plan. That's my plan, if I can get it to work out right. So that's where I'm at right now. So what I want to do is, because I had to glue or tape these sides, I'm going to go down through here and remove the tape. Maybe. I've got tape everywhere. I've just got tape everywhere. I think I will just do it this way. There's that. What I'm trying to do is I need to get it off of the top or the outside of the mold so that I can start taking the frame off. One's down. One's down. All right. So let's do this. I'm trying really hard not to touch the mold or cut the mold. But this was necessary because the sides were the silicone mold, the sides were folding in. Now the frame, the wood frame that I'm cutting the tape away from, kept it from laying out and making it go out, but it was not keeping it from there we go. Yep. All right, there's that one. And we'll just have to come back and remove this. It's not a big deal. We'll have to tape it again when we use it again. So, all right, so let's go over here. And now that we've got the ability to kind of move this away, then that gives us a little bit of room to go between the mold and the frame. Whoop, there we go. All right, there went my knife. Look. These are bendy now. Look at that. See? They don't lay flat. They don't lay flat anymore. Let me get my knife. Alright. Okay, guys. So, this ended up being about 40 ounces of resin. Alright. So, let's start separating the mold. It's a lot of resin. That's more than, you know, it's about 40 ounces. It's what it ended up being. It's quite a bit of resin. So I'm going to try to wiggle Oh boy. There we come. It's just beautiful. So this is the back. And look, we got a piece of glitter. Wow. This is the front. And this tape that was alongside of it just peels away. So, no big deal. Oops. Trim that away. Okay, there we go. All right. There's that. Wow. Wow, this is just beautiful. This is just beautiful. What do you think? Like, I'm gonna do one, what I plan on doing, if it works out, I'm gonna take the mold again, and I'm just gonna pour like whatever will hold some fairy lights. Let me grab some. I have bags of fairy lights. Not all those are working, so this is junk. I have new ones over there, but junk. Oh, those are pretty. Not all those are working, so they're junk. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with those. We'll get new ones. I got new ones. I've got new ones. I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of new ones. Oh, look, because see, you can change the battery in these. So you know what I'll do? When I get this to the customer, I will take the battery to one of the switches. That's what I'll do. This one comes with a screwdriver too. So yeah, I'll just take this little screwdriver to one of them. This is garbage. All right, so let me get rid of this. I'm just going to toss this whole bag. It's all just going to go in the garbage. We're not going to mess with any of the used ones. They're going in the garbage. There we go. They're in the garbage. Let me grab one of my little boxes. And I think we'll use two. We'll throw these in here. Put those over there. We'll get those put up. But anyhow, that's what I'm doing. That's my plans. I'm going to make it to where it can be up against the back of this and shine through, because you can see this is, I made it this way with intentions. Is that just beautiful? Wow. Wow. Okay, so in order to place the fairy lights in, I need the back to be black so that when the fairy lights come on, they're being directed towards the front, which would be the back of the other piece, which would light it up. So we are going to use resin, and there is the HTV Ront black pigment right here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for a second. I may need, I think I'm going to put a little bit more in here. I mixed up 12 ounces, but I'm going to use some for some other things. There we go. Let's see if that turns out to be enough. Alright, so let's unscrew this. It's just, woo, it's just squirting like because I had it left it. Alright, so there we go. Alright. Look at that. Don't want it to sink to the bottom. It's harder to mix once it goes to the bottom. And we're just going to pour that in here and let this set up. And then tomorrow morning we'll come in and we'll put the fairy lights in, because it's getting later today. It's Sunday. I cooked dinner. We've eaten. I hear my husband in there doing the dishes, bless his heart. But it's Sunday and I need to go through my business phone. I need to check for messages, texts, emails. I need to get focused on workflow for tomorrow. So I need that to be, I can see light through it. I don't want to see light through it. I need more black. That's just not quite opaque enough. Wow, guys, I used a lot of black in there. Thing about that is I probably need to go ahead and order more of that, because I don't know when I'll run out. You can't see. It's black. It's a black ball. I think that's a little better. Just going to keep mixing, making sure, because you can't really see what's not mixed up. Okay. Alright. I'm still thinking that. Still stirring. I'm crazy like that. I'm going to go ahead and spray. And then pour. Let me get a paper towel over here. There we go. Alright. Let's do this.
There's a little bit left in there. Alright. Ooh, arthritis. My hand's locking up. Okay. So we're just going to watch it. And watch the bubbles. And then I'll have to put the sides back on it before I pour the other layer. Good morning. So the black has cured. And now we want to do the lights. We're going to try the lights again. Remember yesterday it wouldn't stay cured to just the silicone because resin pops out of silicone. So let's try this again. I'm going to try to straighten this. Let's try. All right. We'll see, won't we? It's Monday morning, so I don't, it's like nothing seems to be working right for me. It's always that way on Monday. We're using this J. Diction, the new formula. And I'm just going to work my way around this. So if you don't hear me say anything else, I'm probably just going to speed this part up when we get to it. Because this is just going to be monotonous. Let's put this down up here. Now probably what I'll do, since I'm still talking and I said I wasn't going to, is I will probably get these somewhat set and then put the larger cure, the larger UV light over top of it. Let me see where I want this at. I think I'll just do it there. Alexa, read from Kindle.
Resuming Shannon's most recent book, The Girl in the Box 1 to 10, a paranormal thriller series, books 1 to 10 box set. Read with Kindle Assistive Reader. There are 19 hours left in the book.
Alright guys, we're putting the final coat to this project in to cover up these lights. So I mixed up my Magic Resin. You see how pretty and clear, just very few little bubbles in there. Amazing resin. I swear by Magic Resin, I'm telling you. Spray that a little bit. I wiped it a little bit earlier because I had my fingerprints on it. Didn't want somebody to, you know, use those as, you know, something against me if some criminal activity happened. I know, funny. But anyway, yep. So, I am going to pour this. And we've got to just get it up over. And I mixed up 18 ounces. I used 8 more ounces in the black last night. And I'll tell you how much more I'm using once I finish pouring this, and I can tell you what's going out of my measuring cup. Because I think we're at 42 ounces with the other project. Let me see where I'm at. That's not submerged. Maybe I should have put more UV resin on it. But this isn't down either. So we still got to add a little bit more. And yes, these lights have a battery. And yes, the battery can be changed. See this little screwdriver here? I don't know if you can see it or not. I attached it so I wouldn't lose it. It goes to the fairy lights. It's just a tiny little screwdriver. But it goes to the fairy lights, and I wanted to make sure that they had that little screwdriver. Let me check this. Come on, buddy. Let's make sure you're down. Can't have anything. Okay, it's down. Yep. Bubbles are popping. And yes, there's going to be bubbles popping, guys. Anytime you are using your resin, moving it around or anything, you are encouraging bubbles. So, we're going to let them pop. And tomorrow morning, we're going to be able to demold this. I'm going to use double-sided tape to place the two. I'm just going to put it at the 4 corners to back it up to the other piece, turn it on, and then we'll be able to see what it looks like completed. So I'm totally pumped for this project. Totally pumped for this project. Alright guys, so I'm going to talk kind of loud because there's all kinds of stuff going on around me. It may shut off here in a minute. Here we are. This is the back, and I put it in there, and then I taped a little screwdriver to it that lets you get in there and change the batteries, and it lights up. So I put 2 strings in there, but let's unmold this. We're just going to slide this out of there. It's not as heavy. So that went over there after adding it up. The big one held 40 ounces. This held 18. 58 ounces of resin. 58 ounces of resin between the two. It's a lot of resin. Alright, let's unmold this.
This itself is pretty. With a black bag. All right. Ready? Wow. Let's turn this off. Let's turn this off. We just got other lights around us. Let's see what we get. Oh, that's pretty. Wow. Wow. Wow, that is so pretty. So pretty. So my thoughts is to use double-sided tape. I'm going to go and I'm going to sand the edges off. And this is pretty flat, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to sand these little I'm going to sand the edges off, and then I have, if it works, I have double-sided tape, or I've had the double-sided sticky tabs. I'm going to do that, okay? And then we will take pictures. I'm going to turn these lights off. All right, I'll be back. These are just a compilation of random pictures taken during the process and the finished product.